Let's go live to former Labor Minister, regular on this program, Graham Richardson. If Labor is to win Fowler back, they've got the right candidate to be a chance. Probably unlikely. Di Lee's had a good first term, but if they're going to win it, Tu Lee seems like the right person to try and do it for the Albanese government, Richo.
Yeah, very much so. I think it's a very good choice. One could argue it should have been made last time, but eventually, if you get it right, I suppose that's what counts. And I think this is getting it right. She's a very good candidate, and I think Di Lee is going to be in some strife.
We'll see. Normally, you'd imagine when an independent's elected, isn't it a rule of thumb that they would get 2 terms? There's certainly the view among the Teal independents that the majority of those will hold on.
Yeah, it's they're usually a 2-term phenomenon, but not always. So I think it's reasonable for Labor to hope that they can get over the line. And I think in pursuit of that aim, they've done pretty well in selecting a very good candidate.
Yeah, indeed. I think maybe, as you said, arguably 3 years too late, but they might still get it across the line when they go to the polls in April or May of next year is most likely. Richo, what's your view when it comes to the protests looming over coming days? Are you worried about what we might see on the streets of our major cities? Yes,
I am. I think I am very worried about these protests because you do get idiots who join those protests, join the reasonable, decent people who are protesting, and once you get a few maniacs involved, you never know what's going to happen. And so, yeah, I look forward to this with some trepidation.
And obviously, like so many of our viewers, and certainly, anyone with any sense of humanity would look at the October 7 anniversary of those atrocities perpetrated on Israel, the greatest loss of life among Jews since the Holocaust, and surely feel a sense of humanity, of sympathy, of empathy for that group of people. And let's hope that many people will stay at home and listen to leaders from both sides of politics and know that this is not an appropriate day to be campaigning on other matters.
Yeah, well, let's hope so, but there's just always that element that will go too far, Kieran, and sadly I think we'll see some of that.
Unfortunately, yeah. And the Iranian ambassador, true to form, has come out and paid tribute to Hassan Nasrallah. He's been condemned by both sides of politics. Coalition wants him declared persona non grata. The government and the Prime Minister saying, we've had a diplomatic presence in Tehran since 1968 continuously, and we should maintain that, regardless of whether we think their views are reprehensible or not.
I agree with that strongly. I think you're always better off being in a position to talk, and so I think I'd maintain our relations with the country to whatever extent I could.
And it provides an important back channel to the government has argued publicly and privately for the United States and others who don't have an embassy there. Richo, thanks. I'll talk to you next week. Thanks.
Look forward to it, Kieran.